The medium that we work in, materials are made the same way that they were in the past, even in the 10th century. For instance, the way colored glass is made, you start with a molten vat that has melted silicon, which is sand and it's clear. It's like clear goo. The way we would get our color, for instance, you would take a nugget of gold, you would toss it in there, and it would flush it pink. And it's this pink, this gold pink glass that becomes the garments that we might put on Christ. We might put it on an angel, for instance, carrying or bringing the Word of God. Gold pink, the precious color, also represents precious blood. So we're designing with symbols, and we're also designing with colors. I was working in a project in Dallas, Texas. This project was just incredible. It was one of the greatest challenges of my life, symbolically speaking. You have to understand the window is 300 foot long, and it includes 70 windows. Each book of the Bible is represented symbolically. As I was looking for a theme for the windows throughout, I really needed to understand light and color and how it works. So I studied the science of color, and I came to understand that as light is in its purest form enters a prism, the prism breaks down the light into a full spectrum of color. And basically you have three colors. Those three colors would be blue at one end, green in the center, and red at the top. Out of these three colors comes all color. So when you take the idea of the spiritual life, the Word would be light, the prism would be us, and the color is the fruit that appears in our lives. So as I began to understand this trinity of color, the red would be the power of the Spirit, green would be the life of the church Christ, and the blue would be the peace which is from the Father's presence. These colors, when they're mixed, become more colors. So I started to search for the color of kindness, and understanding that if red is the symbol of precious blood, precious sacrificial love, and blue is the color of the Father, the creation. For instance, when you look into a midnight sky, there are the stars, and maybe there's the presence of the forest below. But when you look into the indigo sky, you can't help but feel peace. When you take the blues of peace, and you take the reds of sacrificial love, and you put these together, you end up with lavender. Lavender says kindness. If you look up the word kindness, you will find that this word means love under the control of peace. So when we were designing a window of discipleship, there's a series that we did in Arkansas, and that was of discipleship relationships. We came to Ruth and Naomi, a discipleship relationship between a mother and a daughter-in-law. And the reason that the trees, for instance, are shaded towards the lavenders and the purples is to express the kindnesses that is happening in this discipleship relationship. This is the language that we are thinking about when we're designing art for the worship environment.